Hi everyone, welcome back to the Stay Hungry podcast. It's Joel and Martha, and today Martha says we're talking about sell them what they want, give them what they need. Martha, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I think.
Recovered from Americas?
No, my sleep is all over the shop. I'm like up at 4 o'clock every day at the moment, getting loads done, but crashing at about 7 o'clock at night. But it was a good trip. I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone about it on the podcast.
Oh yeah, go. Best moment.
Oh, best moment. Oh, well, this will give you an example of how good it was, or maybe not. And it's not a humble brag. I can tell you some horrible shit as well. It just to lay the foundations. My auntie passed away just before I left, and so I couldn't go to her funeral. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and I fucking hate it when people live this Instagram life and make out that everything's amazing. Like, I was gutted to not be there with my family, but I said to my friend, we saw the Foo Fighters in LA do an unbelievable gig. I'm not even a massive Foo Fighters fan, and I was just like, this is fucking brilliant. And it wasn't even in my top 10 highlights.
Really?
That's how good the trip was.
Wow.
So, what was my highlight?
Okay, top number one thing you learned.
So, Will Gadara, I think that's how you say his name. I've got his book, Unreasonable Hospitality. And he did a 45-hour talk on the first day of the proper conference. I went to VCon in LA. And, you know, we do the See, Smile, Say Hello, Fred Siriax training only a couple of months ago here, which is about making people feel seen and heard and special. This was like that on steroids. And I just like was in awe of what he's achieved. I was just like, this guy is next level. And it was all about focusing on people. It was lovely.
And customer service is so hard because you have to like put your own ego aside and put your needs last.
Yeah. But you are dealing with the wants of the person in front of you, like coming back to what we're talking about. And that's what he was getting at, is like, you need to realise what they want more than they do.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. Like, so for example, his like maitre d' in his restaurant went up to a table and said, "Oh, is this a special occasion?" They said, "Oh yeah, it's our anniversary. We've always wanted to come to your restaurant, but obviously it's quite hard to get a table, so thank you." And the maitre d' said, "Oh, you're in quite early. Are you doing anything tonight for your anniversary?" And the lady said, "We're going ice skating in Central Park." And the maitre d' went away, and he organised a fancy car to collect them from the restaurant and take them to the Central Park ice rink after their meal. And they didn't know.
Yeah.
And so obviously they didn't have to order an Uber or anything. It was all sorted for them. And I was like, yeah, that's quality.
That is really thinking 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, really, like really good. So that was the biggest thing I learned. Top 3 highlights. So if you'd stop coughing, that'd be great. Top 3 highlights was I met Adam Richman, the man who hosts Man vs. Food, and especially during COVID, I was obviously particularly anxious and struggling a bit during COVID, but I'd watched quite a lot of Man vs. Food just as like comfort food, ironically. But he was everything I hoped he would be. He was like a warm, lovely character, really interested in me, asked me about like what food is special to Shropshire.
Nice.
Got into like detail with me, used my name as he was talking to me. I was like, fuck, like if I could be half as good as you at talking to other people.
That's a really good question, actually. Just in general, like what food is local to your area? Like, tell me.
Yeah, tell me more about where you're from.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's quite unique.
And people quite like that. It brings attention to them, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
You're not saying like, oh, tell me your favourite food or whatever. Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool, and in a moment I didn't expect, and I really enjoyed that. I think, weirdly, I went to a line dancing nightclub on my last night in San Diego. Very outside my comfort zone.
I'd be all over that.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I was so far outside my comfort zone, to be honest. I'd forgotten who I was. That's how far out I was, and I had a fucking brilliant time. It was just hilarious. I couldn't tell you much about what happened because there was quite a lot of drink flowing, but that was really good. And then I guess like third highlight, this is the third VCon I've come to, and I've made some really good friends, and we were all in the same place at the same time. And
Yeah.
we went to like a fairly shit restaurant, to be fair, just because it was nearby, and we were all sat around the table, and I was in a position to pay for dinner, and it it wasn't, not to gloat, I don't mean it like that. It was just lovely to like have all those people from all over the world round a table and like that warm fuzzy feeling,
Yeah.
and then them not have to get the bill. It was just like,
Yeah, I think that can sometimes ruin an experience. Like you've had this amazing experience, and it's like, should we go 8 ways or?
yeah, well that was it. Like, so the restaurant actually said we can only do a 3-way split, and there was 11 of us.
What?
So
That's so random.
it was quite random.
That is
They
such
can
a
be quite
lie.
funny in America with. It said on the door when we walked in we can only do a 3-way split, so, and I noticed it anyway. And then they bang on service charge, and bearing in mind, like particularly with VCon, there's people from all different backgrounds, all different financial ability, for want of a better phrase. And I didn't want to spoil the moment, and I was like, and it was a stretch for me. I'm not giving it the big one. I was like, fucking hell, I'm gonna have to sacrifice something else on this trip to do this. But it was just really nice, and everyone was really grateful, and yeah, I don't know. That was kind of. I mean, I went blue whale watching and didn't see a single fucking blue whale, so that wasn't great. Went to Disneyland and don't remember. That wasn't great. That's a story for another time, but it involves a cannabis gummy and some dickhead called Joel trying to take a shortcut with his sleep, and it backfiring dramatically. There's a funny video too, and I've put it in a live workshop I do, so I don't mind it being public knowledge. But yeah, anyway, that was a long explanation of my trip. What are we talking about?
Okay, so I thought this topic is important because I think sometimes it can be difficult to know how to frame your product to get the most engagement.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like if you know you've got a good product or service and people need it and you can help people,
Yeah.
getting their bums on the seats or getting them into your coaching program or whatever it is more important for the wider good of the world and for that person than how you are going to frame it. If you know you're delivering value, then you need to sell what they want and give them what they need.
Yeah, and people get this wrong because they talk about features a lot. So a lot of people will talk about features, not benefits, and people can't relate to features if they don't understand them. So if you say like, "Oh, we're releasing a new washing machine and it's got Cyclone Power 5 technology," and no one knows what I mean, like bear with me because sometimes actually washing machines and hoovers and stuff say shit like that to sound snazzy, which is different. But if you say this has got a 7x electric motor, no one gives a shit. It's like your clothes will come out twice as clean, twice as fast, way more powerful. What that person wants is clean clothes efficiently.
There's a thing with skincare that I've seen people saying ignore this because they'll put dermatologically tested and it actually means nothing. There's no certification, but people want to see.
Just
it's safe for my skin.
Put it on your skin. That's all that means.
Yeah.
It doesn't say past dermatological tests.
But like Colgate or something, or some massive toothpaste brand used like approved by dentists or like used by dentists. It doesn't mean shit. Like it's not like got any kind of certification that it's good for your teeth. Or there is some toothpaste that are actually terrible for the health of your teeth. Because it's used by dentists or approved by dentists.
Like we have this in our house, but is it Arm & Hammer, the one that's got a lot of baking soda in? You should only use it like twice a week because it takes the enamel off your teeth. Oh, that's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, that's actually doing the opposite to what you want to do when you brush your teeth.
Yeah, I mean, like, no offense, Arm & Hammer, if that's bullshit, but
don't
caveat.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. But yeah, that kind of thing. So, what is it someone wants with their toothpaste, Marth? Because what they need is hygienically clean teeth. What do they want?
To feel fresh, like a fresh feeling in the mouth.
Feel fresh, white teeth, probably.
Yeah.
Palatable. They want it to taste nice.
Yeah. White teeth is a huge one actually, because a lot of whitening toothpastes are really, really bad for your
Yeah.
actual teeth.
That's why I like going to America. They'll sell you any old shit there. So like, I'll buy whitening toothpaste that you could definitely not buy here.
Yeah, that your dentist would be horrified.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's that's to do with psychology, isn't it? Is like the psychology behind hitting the emotions, and in that case it's wanting to feel nice or have nice teeth or bright teeth overpowers the logical thought of, oh, actually, like, I'm gonna have these teeth for quite some time, so I probably need to protect the enamel. It's like, or some people actually shave all their teeth off and put in the fake
veneers,
which freaks me out.
I don't even think they're called veneers. I think they're called implants, the ones where you shave your teeth. But when because like normally they do that across 2 days, so sometimes you'll see someone who's not had the second half
They've
of the
got
procedure.
little dinosaur teeth.
Yeah. Oh God, it makes me feel icky. So, like in our case, a lot of people approach us because they want Facebook ads, or they want Google ads, or they want a website. What they need is more customers.
Yeah.
Some people do say, I want more customers, but actually what they need is a new website, because their flow is pretty good. Their website's not doing them any favors. So it can be really interesting, like getting into what people want, like in our case, sometimes people just want to know more about Facebook ads. So in their initial want is, I'd like to know more about Facebook. I had this last week. Did a workshop up north, and everyone in the room wants to know more about Facebook ads. By the end, most of them want somebody else to do it for them, because they're just like, fucking hell, there's a lot to this. But their want and how to get them in the room was that they wanted to know more about Facebook ads. By the end of knowing more about Facebook ads, their want had changed.
Yeah.
But their need was more leads, be it from Facebook ads, Google ads, website, word of mouth, referrals.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when we're talking about the site, like giving people sell them what they want and give them what they need.
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot about the like think, feel, do concept between. So I was like, because I said to you before we started this podcast, what's a good example of a company that have like changed dramatically and it's been really successful?
Yeah.
And you were like, Apple, weren't you, with the like computer company selling a phone?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm trying to think of like a good.
But
example.
to you, it's like, this is an age thing. You were like, that's just selling the same thing. I'm like, sorry, Marv, I come from a time where phones were stuck on the wall and you had to spin the dial to fucking ring someone.
I mean, I didn't even know Apple started as a computer company.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they always did phones.
What? But mobile phones didn't exist.
Yeah, I didn't think that bit through.
That's mad, isn't it, though? That's mad.
Yeah. I thought like the MacBook came secondary to the iPhone.
Yeah.
I guess I just never really thought about it.
Well, and the MacBook came way after the iMac.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, you should look. It's interesting.
So the first Apple computer would be one of them massive things with the huge backs. Like tellies used to be.
Even different to that. I'm not sure I could explain it to you, because you'll be like, I've never seen a computer that looks like this. They weren't Apple Macs, but when I went to primary school, the computer screens were black and the writing on them was green.
I feel like I don't know. I remember we had a computer room in primary school, but I can't really remember what I was doing on it.
Yeah, Paint. MS Paint.
Word art.
Yeah, word art. Fucking every poster in primary school was horrendous word art.
But actually, going back to marketing, I've seen some word art ads recently.
That
and
were
they're very
yeah,
impactful.
it was nostalgic, isn't it?
Which because you think emotionally, like
Yeah,
you're
what do
buying
people want?
emotionally.
Yeah, what do people want? Well, I think this is why things like Stranger Things are so successful. Is you're giving people what they want. Like Cobra Kai, the same. It's like it's a nod to a better time for the people, for that audience.
Yeah.
And I've just seen there's a new Star Wars series coming out. I don't know what it's called. And it's about some kids that like accidentally stumble across a spaceship and end up on the other side of the galaxy on an adventure. I was like, they are tapping into like E.T., Goonies, Stranger Things, and just setting it in the Star Wars universe. They're giving people what they want. It's a proven formula.
Yeah. Well, it's like Story Brand, isn't it? The book that's
yeah,
like
Donald Miller.
Yeah. It's that it's every good film has the same, like, especially like they'll be in trouble, then the heroine will come along, and then they actually won't get on for a little bit, and then
And that is such a good point, right? You're not the hero in the story. That's what StoryBrand's about. You're the guide.
yeah,
So you're Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're not Luke Skywalker, and that's why you need to guide people to what they need, but initially give them what they want. So, like Luke in Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars geek like me, wanted an off-planet adventure because he worked on his aunt and uncle's farm and he was bored out of his mind.
is that really how it starts?
Yeah. And Obi-Wan Kenobi offered him that chance. But what Obi-Wan Kenobi needed and what Luke needed was to realise he was the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy and the person that was going to bring balance and sort out the Empire. But he couldn't sell him that. That would have been like, fuck off, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I'm a farmer.
Obi who?
Yeah. Do one, pal. Like, I'm going back to the farm. You're mental. Where's the blue milk? There's a lot of references in there, but just, yeah, trust me.
A big bit of that is of giving them what they want is not overwhelming them as well.
Yeah.
Be like, this is what you want, and what you're going to have to do is quite a lot more than that, but this is how we
Yeah,
start.
so if you're like a personal trainer, you don't start telling people about what they need to do in week 20.
No.
Oh, by week 20, you're going to be deadlifting 150 kilos and you'll be able to do 37 pull-ups. Like, someone who's never been in a gym would shit their pants.
And you look at the guy who's doing that, like, next to you, and you're like, that looks painful. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. What do you want? Well, by week 37, you're going to feel super fit.
You're going to be in the dress size that you want to be, and
Yeah.
you're going to be able to chase after the kids.
Yeah, you're not going to sweat before you talk on stage.
I hope these episodes go out like one after the other, because that is a really good full circle moment.
Yeah,
They probably won't.
never mind. So, how do you create that compelling offer? Like, how do you stack what someone wants, not what they need? Because the temptation is so much to be like, offer the solution that you know they need, not offer the solution that they want.
Yeah. I mean, how to's always run really well for us. Like, add copy with image just with text on it, super plain. How to,
Yeah,
and you can't obviously say lose weight in Facebook ads, but like how to stop the chaos and take back control of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought of an extreme example of why you shouldn't do it the other way, why you shouldn't sell what they need. Because, like, it was my stepdad that popped into my mind. But in order to save his life, which is what he wanted, they had to cut his leg off. But if they tried to sell him cutting his leg off, they'd have never got there.
That is so true.
Very old example. But like, if you think, like, anyone that says this podcast now, every time they go to write their copy, build their offer stack, walk out on stage, if they remember, I'm selling them saving their life, not chopping their leg off.
Yeah.
Like, that's powerful. And like, I'll never forget that now. It's like ludicrous, but all right, yeah, shit, I need to sell them what they want, not what they need. They need me to chop their leg off, but what they want is to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That is put that on a t-shirt.
yeah, that can be we'll get rid of stay hungry. We'll just have like chop your leg off and a dinosaur.
Chop your leg off live.
Yeah. Choppers live. Bit of a different stay hungry.
Yeah, I don't know what. If I saw Choppers live on an ad, I would be like,
Yeah.
do I have to be 18 to attend this?
Some people do want that.
Is this for men or women?
Everyone.
Both.
You're all welcome. So, how do you transition from selling them what they want, after saying choppers, this is rough, selling them what they want to giving them what they need?
So I'd compel any business owner listening to this now to think about what it is that their ideal clients want. Like, do they want to learn how to do Facebook ads? Do they want to learn how to deal with their ADHD? Like, what is it? What is the thing that they want? Which is almost like stepping out of the grind.
Yeah.
And thinking about the end result. Like I've heard you pitch like like, how, for this to be the best decision you've ever made, where do you need to be in a year's time?
I do say that. I forgot to say that. I'm not sure if that sounds wanky now. It's pretty cool though. But like,
And then we know where we're going, and they are future paced. They know.
I definitely say, I also say sometimes what needs to happen for this to be the best decision you've ever made. And I mean it, because what's really important on the delivery side is not only do you give them what they need because of your expertise, you give them what they want as well. And if you fail to give them what they want, it doesn't matter if you give them what they need, they'll still leave.
Yeah.
And that's really hard. Like, you get someone the result, but they didn't get what they want, as in to feel warm and welcome, to feel special, to understand better ads, whatever it might be. But they got more customers, or their car got fixed, they won't come back. Like, you've got to deal with the psychological needs. It's like the Maslow hierarchy of needs. If you give someone everything they need at the top of that hierarchy, but fail to give them the base level foundational stuff, they won't come back.
We've had that before, haven't we? Where we've got amazing results, but they just wanted a pint and a cuddle.
Yeah, we had one big client. They've been mentioned on the podcast before that literally sold millions and millions of pounds worth of houses because of our campaign. But because we didn't pop round to see them as a local to local business, they got arsey and left. And the lesson there was we should have popped round to see them and realised that that was their want.
Yeah.
They wanted to be invited to events. They wanted to feel special. They wanted to, and like, we've dramatically altered our business because of that, to be fair. So, jumping forward, because I don't know if you can hear my stomach rumbling, but I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. How do you strike a balance? Because you can't sell someone what they want. Ethically, you can't sell someone what they want if you can't deliver it.
Yeah.
And I hate that. You know, like, we've all seen those campaigns that, like, I mean, certainly before there was advertising standards and things like that. If you look at like old school 30s and 40s ad campaigns, they're like, a glass of Coke a day keeps the doctor away. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Well, like, the cigarettes used to do that a lot. That like 9 out of 10 doctors say that smoking 10 Marlboro Lights a day will dramatically improve your sinuses. Like, no offense to Marlboro Lights, but whatever. That kind of like,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. But like, there was a lot of adverts like that, and because obviously people were like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to have sore sinuses. I'll nail some cigarettes." Well, that's not true.
Yeah. I mean, on the front end, you definitely have to, like, the first thing anybody sees from you, especially if it's a paid ad, needs to hook them in.
Yeah.
And then like provide the information or like, as you nurture them on their journey. But the initial hook needs to be, that's speaking to me. That's what I want.
Got me on the line. Yeah. Okay, so like, let's say football boots. What would be like a hook for a pair of football boots? Put you on the spot now.
That has put me on the spot. For adults or for children?
Well, children, I think, because adults that buy football boots are a bit more informed.
But I guess you are selling to the adults. But
well, maybe,
but
not,
emotionally,
it's what the
children.
kids want, isn't it? So you're selling to the kid to then relay that to the adult, to them. So I would be like, what's important to a kid, and football brands do this really well. It's to be aligned to their favourite star. What they need is a pair of football boots
that doesn't break their feet.
That don't break and last a season before they grow or whatever. So that's what they need. What they want is to replicate their favourite star.
And I'd also, a huge thing with kids is like fitting in, like,
yeah,
what everybody else has got. It's like that social marketing, like social influencers.
Like, when I was a kid, you couldn't wear white boots unless you were really good.
Really?
Because people kick the shit out of you. There's mostly black boots then. Where now, like, to find a black, actually it's the other way now. Kids send their boots off to get them blacked out because you can't buy black boots. But they were all black when I played, other than Adidas Predators, which came out in like cream.
All of my friends had like the really like nice pink Nike ones, but I had Adidas black. Like they looked pretty old school.
Like Copa. Were they called Copa Mondials?
I have no idea. They had like
I
they
hope
did have
they have a tongue on them.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Is that cool?
It's retro cool. It's cool to me. It's cool to me. But yeah, that's it. Like what they want is to fit in, is to replicate their favorite player, is to feel like they've got the best pair of boots. What they need is a pair of football boots, and so that's like, and the ethics there is that you can't say like scientists have proven that this boot makes you faster unless they have. You definitely
Yeah.
couldn't say wear these boots and you'll be as good as Ronaldo. Like,
But
that's what's
yeah.
implied, isn't it? That's what's implied, and it's clever.
Yeah. And you see, and then they see, like, well, obviously influencer marketing is huge, and that is like the top level of influencer marketing is what turning on the telly and seeing Ronaldo's wearing the same Nike boots that you see every day
Yeah.
when you walk past the shop on the way to school.
Yeah.
It's like always like that. It's influencer marketing has always been happening. It's just that there's more influencers now.
Now the people are famous for being influencers, where influencer marketing used to be celebrities.
Yeah, exactly.
So but that's happened. You know, Elvis did that. It's not new. So, okay. And
these
how?
blue suede shoes.
Yeah, yeah. He should have done that, shouldn't he? Whoever sells blue suede shoes should have made a killing. But what if your customers need to change?
In what? As in, you need to teach them how to change.
Well, obviously, you're always still selling them what they want, but you've got to adapt to what their needs are too. So, for example, when COVID happened, if you were driving leads to face-to-face meetings, because that was the need, I want to meet up with more people, and when I can see the whites of their eyes, I sell more. Well, you can't do that now. So we need to adapt to get you onto Zoom calls, and what do you do in terms of like, if the customer wants face-to-face meetings, but for whatever reason they can't have them, how do you adapt?
Well, you'd sell the benefits of not like saving time, saving petrol, and even like I'll do it. Well, we do the opposite with Zooms. They're shorter because nobody wants to sit on Zoom. But it could be like, get more time with me on Zoom because I don't have to drive, or added bonuses to. I mean, bonuses are a really good way of selling anything.
Yeah.
Like quickly, like creating the demand.
So if you've got something that's quite hard to convince people on, but it is what they need, e.g., a marketing campaign, you might stack your offer with bonuses that are definitely what they want. And that could be access to you. It could be a free guide. It could be a retreat. Like you stacking things that tick their wants.
Yeah.
Because you want to sell them what they need.
A great one is the retreat, especially in like a male dominated space, because they are like, well, the wife like might be a bit like, I've just invested all this, but if I tell her that we're going to Barcelona for a weekend, like she's on board, so I'm on board. Happy wife, happy life. And then that's the benefit that you need to add for them.
And then the other side of it is just making sure there's a feedback loop. So as people's needs change, which they inevitably do as their business develops, as their life develops, blah, 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 make sure that that's being fed back into your team so that you can adapt your business to meet their needs.
Because even their wants change.
Yeah.
Like you get results. Oh, well, now I just want someone to like bounce ideas off, just to sense check what I do. Oh, yeah.
Someone that wants to fly business class, once they've flown business class, wants to fly first class.
Yeah.
So you've got to adapt. Yeah. So how do we summarise this, Marv? What's the takeaway?
Knowing what your customer wants is is the big one. Is to maybe refocus if you've been selling to needs previously, and not to be afraid to like say that you're going to deliver something, or like
Yeah.
you will get this. Like, you have to be confident in, because if you're not confident in your service and your marketing, that shows through.
Oh, so much.
Like, we'll aim to do this. It's like, well, are you going to do it or not? Like, what do you mean I'm aim? There was a sign in the gym that's like, we will aim to find a solution to this. Well, like, are you going to fix the bike or not? Like, what do you mean I'm going to aim? Like, you're either going to do it or you're not.
Yeah. We aim to please every customer. What?
We will do our best to answer you quickly.
Yeah.
Just leave it out, because it sounds like you have really long waiting times.
Yeah. Sounds like you don't give a shit. I've just had that. Like, I've just logged on to live chat with one of our print suppliers and said, just logged into our account and all of the invoices in there and all the artwork in there is someone else's. Surely that's a GDPR issue? Question mark. And the live chat came back saying, and it wasn't a bot, it was a person, said, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Please email it too. It's like,
You email it.
oh, you fucking do it. Yeah, I've done you a favour, you weirdos. But in terms of feedback, that's the other thing, is if you've got a pool of customers already, but you're still unsure what the wants are, in our case, we could go to our customers and say, right, just out of interest, when you approached us, what were the 3 main things you wanted from this? And then you'll know what you're selling to.
Yeah.